Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law that she is the reason my brother is sick? My brother, 44, got sick at work with sunstroke and dehydration, so he called me to get him to the hospital. He was admitted overnight, but sent home the next day, and he went back to work. Same day, late night, my sister-in-law called my mom, who lives with me, and yelled at her that he was worse, and it was our fault because we didn't leave him at the hospital. He didn't want to stay in the hospital because he didn't have money for it. Oh God. Also, if he don't work, he don't get paid. And they are in a tough financial situation because of her credit cards and can likely be evicted because their home loan isn't paid. So I told her that she is the reason my brother went back to work so soon, or too soon, because she spends too much money and too much money they don't have. Dear God, if you don't work, you don't get paid. She also is a stay-at-home mom. Now, she sent my mom a long email telling her she won't ever see her grandchildren again, and she's the worst grandma in the world for siding with me. Am I the asshole? Oh man, you maybe didn't need to bring it up. I don't know, but the fact that she had like a little attitude with you, it's like, I mean, you're in a situation. He can't really do anything else. I've been in that type of situation where you've gone to work sick because you're broke and you're also worried that if you miss this day, they'll fire you. It's not a good place to be. I'm glad I don't work a job like that anymore. Not the asshole. Sometimes you need to truth bomb someone who lacks self-awareness. Having said so, I think that the person who your sister-in-law needed to talk to with is your brother, not you. Oh my God, can you imagine talking to him about it right now? All that you have is an angry sister-in-law and a sick brother with no plans on how to deal with their finances and or their future. All things considered, redirecting the conversation to include the two principals and recommended that they have an adult conversation about their finances may have been the wiser course of action. Yeah. This is just so short and to the point. You know, you don't work. If you don't work, you don't get paid. You're the asshole. It's in no way her fault that your brother got heat stroke. But it's also not like her fault. What? I'm so confused. It's also not his sister's fault. I'm lost. His sister didn't give him the heat stroke. He got heat stroke. And then they were at the hospital and he's like, I can't afford the treatment, so I'm going to have to go back to work. So he went back to work and she just like let it happen because he's his own man. And she probably also understood. She probably got a conversation from him like, hey, I'm going to have to go back to work no matter what because I can't afford this. I don't know. Unless you also double as your brother's accountant, there's no way you know enough about their finances to decide she's the only one responsible for their debts. Right. That's probably just what brother told her. Yeah, sorry, brother. People in these comments seem to think that men can't be abused or in abusive relationships. Please do some research on male abuse. What does this have to do with anything? You're the asshole. Those expenses are both of theirs. When you are married, you generally share money. And yeah, I would be mad if you signed him out of the hospital against medical advice. Hospitals have assistance. His health should be more important than anything else there, and you don't seem to get that. Unless he was also, like, he went back to work. Did he not have any say in this? He had to obviously be functioning in order to get back up and out of work. Sick at work, so he called me to get him to the hospital. He was admitted overnight, but sent home the next day, and he went back to work. He was sent home the next day. She didn't, like, sign his ass out. He got worse. Oh, he should have stayed longer. I don't know. For some reason, you inserted yourself into someone else's marriage and blew it up with a comment that let your sister-in-law know her husband had been complaining to his family about her spending. Yeah, but didn't she immediately, like, jump to him? Same day, late night. My sister-in-law called my mom, who lives with me, and yelled at her that he was worse. So what? You inserted yourself? No. She took him to the hospital. He came back the next day, and then his wife called them. She forced them into it. Oh, my God. Who sends an email to their family? It's better to be alive and in debt than debt. Debt than dead. I mean, I agree with you, man, but sometimes you'd rather die. Sometimes you'd rather die than accumulate medical debt. That's one thing we're learning right now about that old CEO. There are some people on this. Actually, as it turns out, there's a lot of people on this planet that don't exactly miss when a CEO disappears off the face of the earth, because as it turns out, they've had family members that didn't quite get the coverage they needed at the right time. Everyone's lost a family member to something. My grandpa's been denied coverage, and I mean, he's retired. He's supposed to have some of the best insurance you can get, but not for this one specific thing. Not quite. Ooh, insurance companies, you know? Anyways, I really just don't think you're the asshole here. I think she came at you aggressively, and you met her aggressively, like, hey, listen, you want him to not have to do this. He's worried about having to work. He can't just stay in the hospital. This goes much deeper. If he's the only one working, it won't matter if his hospital bills get paid by assistance. They're not also going to pay the mortgage and the rest of the bills while you're raising the kids at home. Maybe work out something else, champ. Life is rough. It's tough. It really is. But I don't know, man. Some people I feel like are very nice. Just, hey, man, just get some disability checks, maybe. I don't know how much disability checks are, but I can't imagine that they're very great. Because I've seen people talk about disability and getting like $800 a month. I'm going to be real with you. That's not enough to pay my mortgage. That's not enough to pay my power bill. So, I don't know. Just saying. It might be enough for some people, not enough for everybody. Not the asshole.